Remember, the victim's children was on scene when those shots were fired.
They so caught up in my pride, but don't know what's inside. I've been down and I've been up, still ain't giving up.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome. If you are new, my name is B Octavia. I am 23 years old and I'm from Washington, D.C. In today's video, I will be talking about a tragic event that recently happened in the D.C. area, specifically right up the street from my house. And with me talking about what happened in my own city, this is still coming from an unbiased person. You know what I'm saying? I want to be fair all the way around and tell y'all not only the events that happened, but why it happened and why it shouldn't happen anymore. What I want people to take from these stories that I talk about that happen within my city is that things can get real really fast, and a lot of us have been through a lot. We should already know this. A lot of us should have a lot more focus on what's really important, and I feel like sadly this is a prime example of the things that go on within the city and how far it can go. With all of that being said, let's get into the video. This story involves people around my age, which is perfect for me to talk about. There was a 21-year-old mother of two who was shot at a gas station in the midst of a fight. A lot of things have been revealed about this. Initially, that was the only thing that was said. I'm going to read this article, and then I'm going to just vent and tell you guys what I think about this and just my overall conclusion. So within this story, the victim, the 21-year-old female whose name is Tia Carey, was shot, like I said, outside of a gas station, and one person is in custody for this shooting. The story goes like this, and a lot of things I didn't know until I read this article. So shout out to whoever wrote this article, because it's a lot that I didn't know. So according to a witness, the 21-year-old victim, prior to the shooting, the victim picked up her two kids, which happened to be a 5-year-old and a 2-month-old. She then instructed the driver to pull over at a gas station. I'm going to go back and forth because I did see the mom of the victim on the news, and she was saying that her daughter went to the gas station to get something to drink. Now, this is different though. This says that the victim spotted her child's father, or one of the child's father, at the gas station. So that is when she requested for the driver to pull in. In her instructing the driver pulled into the gas station where the baby father was with his girlfriend in the passenger seat. Allegedly, they had been going back and forth. The victim and the girlfriend had been going back and forth for some time over social media as things like that. And with the child's father in the middle, he does not choose to diffuse it. It just keeps going on, keeps building, and those feelings make people do things like this. As the girlfriend is sitting in the passenger seat and the child's father is at the pump, they get confronted by the victim. Witnesses say that is when a verbal argument turns into a physical altercation. I will not be putting that video up because, I mean, if you want to see pit bulls fight, you can just watch a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? That type of anger, like those type of brawls, I'm used to seeing. I'm not going to exploit that like it's you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to. Especially because all parties did not walk away from this unscathed. So that will not be going up on my channel. It says in this article that the victim pushed her way into the car in which the child's father girlfriend was sitting, and that's when the physical altercation began. I did see in the video, as it says in this article, that the baby father boyfriend tried to split them up, and he did, but they shouldn't even been able to touch each other. You know what I'm saying? But within the same respect, it was an ambush. You know, you could have literally just took your kids home. It doesn't matter who you see. Yeah, you seen them. That could have been it. You know? So, I digress. Let me just wait till the end. He was able to pull his baby mother back, which happens to be the victim, which then gave the girlfriend the opportunity to go back into the car and grab a gun. As soon as she grabbed the gun, she pointed it and she fired at the victim twice, at least once hitting her in her head. The shooter, which was the baby daddy's girlfriend, she was trying to flee the scene. Luckily, the witnesses around were able to physically keep her on the ground and wait until, you know, help arrived to come get her. She was not able to flee, which is great. You know, I feel like a lot of people, they make these decisions and they don't want to pay for it. Well, that makes no sense. You should really think that out then. You should have really just used your hands. But let's move on. The shooter was arrested at the scene and charged with second-degree murder. And let me just say, DC's self-defense laws, we may not even have any self-defense laws. I mean, I feel like when it comes to somebody coming into your property, that's different. You know, if you're firing a shot or multiple shots at a person, and I understand that they came up and all of this and all of that, but DC don't have self-defense laws like that. That's why you should really think out what you're doing. Another part of this was that, remember, the victim's children was on scene when those shots were fired. As soon as those shots were fired, the child's father jumped into the car that his baby mother arrived in and drove it off the scene, with the kids in the back, one being his. He arrives at the victim's mom's house, and all he is saying when he is dropping the kids off is that it all happened too fast. I've been keeping up with this story, and I'm not sure if they have him in custody yet or they have questioned him yet, but I'm hoping that that happens soon. And this is my thing. This is the number one thing that really irks me about people my age. And it really does make me sick. And on the other hand, I don't want this to sound like an attack because somebody lost their lives. But within this situation, none of this had to happen. Within this situation, one person walked into it thinking it would just be a fist fight. The streets is never fair. One thing that we know from my childhood is that things can get very volatile and very violent very fast. So if we are initiating that and somebody is bringing fuel with the fire we already started, well, it's going to explode. I'm tired of parents getting on the news and just saying that don't make sense. I'm tired of parents getting on the news and making it seem like they've been the parents that can give their child that type of structure to make them focus. Having two kids, especially having them with you when you are going to go confront people, is never a good idea. You're never supposed to put your kids in that type of situation. So that's what I'm most mad about. It is unfortunate that this young girl, this 21-year-old girl, lost her life. But this is just another sad example of why we are not focused. We focus on the wrong shit. If we got 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, it don't matter how many, we gotta focus on their safety. We gotta make sure that we can get them home and we can get ourselves home in one piece. My child's safety is my number 1 concern. We gotta focus as parents. We grew up in a time where our parents didn't focus on us. Real shit. So now we're in a situation where we have had kids ourselves. And what are we supposed to do? The same thing that they did? No. The type of neglect that comes with a parent from this time, from this area, is still dysfunctional. It's still a lot that comes with it. And I don't want that to trickle into how she grows up and how she handles situations. Look at it. This has made national news. And it's always something like this. Always. You can't go into something that's blind. It's not safe. And it doesn't matter. Furthermore, us young women, we have to realize there's more to life than caring about. Especially if he's just your child's father. Me personally, in my opinion, you can't even put that type of energy into a husband. You gotta be for yourself. You gotta make yourself strong. You gotta focus on your kids. If that nigga ain't strong, he ain't strong. If that nigga don't want you, he don't want you. If he was somebody else, leave him alone. The real thing is he taking care of his kids? Why do you want to fight over him? Why do you want to argue over him? Is he spending time with his kids? Let's just be honest here. Let's ask ourselves these questions, young women. Is he there for them? Does he help you? Put them to sleep? Just simple things. Does he give you time to yourself? And spends time with his kids and is separate? Does he do that? No? Then there's nothing to talk about with his significant other. And especially because you don't know how he talks about you with her. That could have just made her shoot you right there. It's a double-ended sword. Somebody and everybody is going to get poked. We can't keep doing this. 2 small children and I can't fathom not being there for my child. I cannot fathom that. It breaks my heart for these 2 kids. But you're starting to see. I want everybody to see the type of dysfunction that trickles generation to generation to generation. This is what we're up against. That's all we see. That's all how we've seen shit go down. Arguments, and that's supposed to be normal? It's not normal. It's not normal. We gotta build ourselves up. We gotta have careers. We gotta be the type of parents that our children will love to be like. And it's not nothing about being no doctor or being no lawyer. It's not about none of that. It's about being real. It's about being there and protecting your kids. Handling situations better. Avoiding danger. Avoiding conflict. Because if those people don't matter, what is the point? I'd really rather look them dead in their face and walk the other way. And if you want to use that as scary or whatever the case is, I'm walking away with my life. We've grown up in DC all of our lives. We know this. We know how things can get from bad to worse. So don't go into a situation blind. Don't initiate drama, because it's not going to get us nowhere but in a grave or in jail. Like this. That's all I have to say on it. My condolences go out to those children affected by the parents' drama that didn't even have to happen. Because now it's over at the blink of an eye. It's just a vicious cycle. Her child is now off of this earth and she is left to take care of her child's children. That is the vicious cycle that is going on within DC. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comments below, and I will see y'all in my next video.